Hello, everybody, and welcome into Salem Stadium in WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina, as North Carolina FC hosts Penn FC in the USL. Hi, everybody. I'm James Alverson alongside Jason Gary here today. And Jason, big game for both of these teams. Penn FC has not been beaten in their last 4. North Carolina FC unbeaten in their last 3. But somebody's got to find a way to score some goals.
Absolutely. A good road trip for North Carolina FC. You know, playing a few games on the road. When they come back home, though, they've really got to find a way to get 3 points. That's key for them tonight, is find someone who's going to score the goals, and we're going to highlight some of those guys in a bit. But I'm excited for the opportunity tonight for North Carolina FC to put some balls in the back of the net.
Well, we'll see if anybody can put the ball in the back of the net. A lot of these guys very defensive-minded for Penn FC, and North Carolina FC has been very solid defensively all season long. Let's take a look at some of those guys. We'll start with Tommy Heineman for Penn FC. He's got one of their 2 goals on the season, Jason.
Yeah, and for me, he's an absolute beast playing that center forward role. He's 6'4", about 190, 200 pounds. He's great at holding the ball, and he's an absolute poacher in the box. He's ruthless when he gets in the box, an opportunity to score. He's played here before in the past, so he's got some history here, but he's been a thorn in the side of this North Carolina FC team for many years.
And he started out signed with FC Cincinnati earlier. Some medical issues voided that contract. He hooked on with Penn FC, and we'll see what he can do against North Carolina FC today. And for North Carolina FC, it's really been Daniel Rios. He's got 3 goals so far in his contest so far for North Carolina FC on loan from Chivas Guadalajara.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into this season, talking to Coach Colin Clark, it was who was going to be the guy that scores the goals. And Daniel Rios has established himself as that guy that can get you those key goals. He's already got 3 on the season. They're going to look to kind of get him involved early in the game and see if they can get on the board early today.
We'll see if they can't get things rolling earlier. 2 forwards up top for Colin Clark tonight. That'll be something interesting to watch, and we'll tell you more about that on the other side of the break as we bring you the starting lineups and opening kickoff. North Carolina FC and Penn FC from beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Don't go anywhere. Soccer coming up right on the other side.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on a club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents were like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Perfect day for soccer, 76 degrees and bright sunny skies here at Cary, North Carolina as North Carolina FC hosts Penn FC. I'm James Alverson, Jason Gary, your broadcast crew here today as we're just about set to get underway. Let's get right to those starting lineups as we take a look at them here tonight. Jason, big one for both of these teams. We'll start it off with North Carolina FC. Of course, 3-goal scorer up top with Daniel Rios, but 4-4-2 tonight for Colin Clark.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting decision. They've done that the past couple games and have had some success. Donovan Uolo, Daniel Rios are going to be asked to really create some goal-scoring opportunities tonight. They haven't done a great job of creating them so far this year.
You see Kanziora and Smith in the center of the midfield, Becker, Deleuze on the outside. Penn FC coming at you with Lucky Mukasana and Tommy Heineman up top. Thiago Calvano, Ken Tribbett in the back. Tribbett One of 2 goals scored for Penn FC this year. He and Tommy Heineman, the only one to put the ball in the back of the net so far.
Yeah, the thing that strikes me about this team, in the back, they are large and physically imposing. And then up top, you've got that guy, Tommy Heineman, who's just caused problems for North Carolina FC over the years. So it should be a good setup tonight.
You see Raul Voss there, the head man for Penn FC in his first year with the club, as he's trying to get things underway. 4 draws so far for his side on 1 loss in their opener, but they've drawn their last 4, so trying to get some goals. They've only had 1 in 2 of their games and had some 0-0 draws in that mix as well. As you look at them here, as Penn FC in their road white uniform, some blue numerals and black trim. As we are underway here, sit back and enjoy this one from Salem Stadium in Wake Met Soccer Park as we are underway in the USL. Penn FC will start it off. North Carolina FC in their their home navy blues with some gold numerals. As you get a peek at them here, it's Tiago Calvano and Tribbett play catch with it along the back. A little bit of a slow start here so far as they beat it around the back, and kind of what you expect here for the early going, Jason, is you look at these 2 teams and not a lot of goals scored for either side, so you expect a little bit more conservative start, I would think.
Yeah, I think so, and they're both built the same, both playing in a 4-4-2 formation, so it's basically man-on-man all over the field, and this Penn team has not been able to score a lot of goals, so we'll see how this game develops. Look for North Carolina FC, once they finally get control of this ball, to put it on the ground, start that possession game that they're known for. But yeah, a little weird start to this game. It's been a minute, and North Carolina FC's barely touched the ball.
Harry Hawkins challenged by North Carolina FC, and Donovan Iwalo over there on the far side wins a throw-in for North Carolina FC. As you get to look at Colin Clark in his 6th year with North Carolina FC, and results in his last 3 all on the road, as the ball curled into the box and headed back out. And we'll see if Stephen Miller could do something with it along the side as he drops it back and it deflects off Graham Smith out for a throw.
That was a bit of a tough passer from Stephen Miller. He fired that thing in to his teammate, able to keep the ball in bounds. But both these teams are really in that early stage of the season, just trying to figure out the combinations that'll work, who's going to be establishing themselves as a starter.
And a free kick won for Penn FC here in the early going. Remind you that all North Carolina FC game broadcasts are brought to you by Continental Tire. We appreciate their support here tonight as we are just underway from Wake Med Soccer Park. Beautiful night, and crowd still filing in a little bit here in Cary. You hear the Oak City supporters in the background beating the drum, trying to urge on their side to their first home result. Yet to get points in a home match here so far in the 2018 season, and Colin Clark's team looking to right the ship here tonight.
Yeah, they've gotten part of the formula right for having a successful season. They've gotten some results on the road where they've gotten a victory and some ties on the road, but they've got to start putting together 3 points at home. That's the formula, 3 points at home, and get a result most of the time on the road where you can tie or sneak out a victory, but got to find a way to score some goals and get those 3 points here at Wake Med.
And really a heartbreaker last time at home against Indy 11 is had an opportunity to equalize in stoppage time in the final couple minutes. Penalty kick saved, and they give up 3 points at home as Indy 11 take 3 from them here after an early goal in the 15th minute. But North Carolina FC back at home here looking for better things tonight. They had some issues in the central defense that gave up that goal in the early going here, and they're looking for a much more solid start here in the early going this week.
Yeah, they're going to have their hands full too, though. Harrington and Footy Donzo there in the center back position with Heineman and Imkosana there. I mean, they're locked up mano a mano tonight. You got to handle your business if you're the center backs. Those 2 players, you can see they're both standing up there. Generally, they'll have a team, you know, one forward will stay really high, the other one kind of drops underneath. Imkosana and Heineman are both staying as high as they possibly can.
Imkosana, North Carolina FC fans probably remember him from the New York Cosmos in the NASL. Just a very strong forward, real physical with his body up front as he wins the ball in the midfield and treads back as Penn FC holding on to possession here well in the early going as we cross minute 4 in the books. Jerry Ortiz on the ball now. Send it all the way over to Calvano, and that'll be picked up by Harry Hawkins.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but for the two North Carolina FC forwards right now, Rios and Iwalo, they've got to do a better job of cutting off one side of the field. They've got two of them up there. Center backs are passing back and forth to each other. Got to find a way to keep the ball on one side of the field once it goes to that side.
We'll put some high pressure for sure. Frederick Opoku has it run out ahead of him, and it'll be a throw-in for North Carolina FC deep in their own end. Nice throw headed forward by Becker, but chipped back as Penn FC ends up with possession. To Stockwheel on it. He'll slip it back all the way now to Calvano, and now over for Tribbett. And over for Bond on the right side. Right through Deleuze's legs, and here's Rios, chance to run out. Picked off by Tribbett. Did a nice job there as Rios tried to nutmeg and go around.
Yeah, it was a really good tackle in the end there by Tribbett. Rios running at him.
As we head on here, slip forward by Smith. Becker on the ball with some speed. Tripped up from behind, no call. Wins the ball back to Rios. Rios, chance to work on it here. Gets it back to Smith, now Deleuze. Becker plays 1-2 with Deleuze, dropping it back now. And Deleuze taken down, he wins a free kick, and that one will be brought to you by Alpaca Peruvian Charcoal Chicken. Dangerous opportunity here for North Carolina FC as they've not had the ball a whole lot here, but they get a free kick in their own end and a chance to maybe establish some possession and a rhythm.
Yeah, just kind of time to reset here. This is Ortiz, gets in a little bit late here. Austin Deleuze, the ball's away, just follows through there with that right leg, certainly a foul.
North Carolina FC with it here as they send it back to Deleuze along the near side. And he'll slip it all the way back now to Harrington. Harrington over to Footy Danso, who's done a nice job, is starting in all 6 games so far after coming back to the club right before the start of the season. He's been a mainstay. And North Carolina FC gives it away here. A little bit of a battle between Harrington and Ortiz, and free kick is going to go to Penn FC. You see a little fire and a little talk from our official as now Ortiz going to go down.
I mean, Harrington came in strong, and then Ortiz just forgot about the ball and two-hand shoved him in the chest. I don't mind it for Michael Harrington being aggressive as a center back. Referee's going to have a little talking to him here.
J.J. Bielinski is our official here today, assisted by Jeffrey Swartzel, Ryan Graves, and the 4th official is Robert Dale. And right now, Harrington, a little talking to for this as you get a look at it here.
And it gets in strong, it's a foul. Ortiz takes a little issue with it there. Was a little fired up at the beginning of the game, get some of that testosterone out right at the beginning.
You always got to get into the game somehow, Sometimes it takes getting a little scrap.
There you go.
Thrown forward for Rios. He chests it down to Deleuze, and he'll drop it back as they try to bang it long for Iwalo, and it'll be offsides against Iwalo, and it will now be a free kick for Penn FC, who's had the majority of the possession here in the early going. North Carolina FC really unable to generate a whole lot of rhythm or possession here in the early going, and that may be a little bit concerning for Colin Clark's club against a team that he said is very solid defensively.
Yeah, they're built really strongly from the back. See players like Tribbett there and Calvano. But really, you're not expecting them to have that much possession so far early in this game.
Calvano gives it away off of deflection to Rios, who has it taken away by Calvano. And Deleuze will throw it back in for Harrington. Dropping it back, trying to establish something out of the back for the boys in blue here tonight. North Carolina FC, you see those long shadows starting to creep over the field here at Wake Med Soccer Park. 76 degrees at kickoff, wind blowing from right to left. So North Carolina FC with the wind here in the first half. As the ball sent forward now by Douay and taken by Tribbett. Due trying to win it back in, and Lucky Makasana is going to come back and pick it up. Nice takedown by Canziora to win it back for Becker. Now DeLuz on the ball with some time and space. Slips it forward for Rios. Rios, edge of the 18. Trying to chip it back. He was double teamed, and he wins it back. Now Becker, edge of the 18. Flipped it back to Rios on the back heel. Back to Becker. Trying to pull the trigger. He'll slide it instead over to Canziora. Canziora will cross. And now to Becker. Becker fighting with Estacquio. Estacquio wins it, and here comes the dangerous Tommy Heineman. Onto the edge of the 18, working against Danso. Slips it back. Blasts away Ortiz, and it sails high and wide to the right as we cross the 10-minute mark, still scoreless.
Yeah, good bit of play there from North Carolina FC. Just Kyle Becker got that ball cut underneath his foot. I thought there was a couple opportunities for Rios to go one-on-one, but then the counterattack, dangerous. See Tommy Heineman there creating a chance for Ortiz. But better from North Carolina FC, maintaining that possession, moving the ball from one side of the field to the other.
What you want to see from North Carolina FC if you're Colin Clark in the club. Bond wins it forward, but Due comes to pick it up, and Becker with a heavy touch, and Lucky's got it in the midfield.
Yeah, Kyle Becker just been off here for the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game. It just his first touch hasn't been great so far. He'll get back into the rhythm of things, but been losing the ball too much for a player of his caliber.
Bond will drop it now to Tribbett. Tribbett will send it over to Hawkins from Cambridge, England, and he'll slip it all the way up for Minjeever. Rios with a chance to take it away there, but it slides all the way back into the defense. And Penn FC will reset. Brought forward for Ortiz right in the middle of the park. Canziora knocks it away well. Becker flipped it right back to him, just a touch heavy, as Estacquio able to come and pick it up. And now Penn with it. Dangerous area here as Heineman drops it back now. Ortiz running on, and he is double teamed in the midfield, taken away, as now DeLuz will have it for North Carolina FC. Gives it back to Canziora, and he'll slip it all the way for Peebo Due out of Tacoma Park, Maryland.
And this is more like it from North Carolina FC, just maintaining some possession, getting everybody involved.
So here's Becker, steps on it, sends it back to Footy Danso. Gives us a chance here to remind you, Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Canziora on it in the middle of the park, and a giveaway there by Rios. North Carolina FC able to get it back after a couple of pinballs. Estacquio gave it back. And DeLuz will drop it all the way back to his keeper, Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, but this is okay from North Carolina FC, maintaining that possession. It's better. They're going to start to open up this Penn FC team.
Little miscommunication there for North Carolina FC. The ball trickle all the way back.
Yeah, there's a little bit of work to do with the forwards with Rios and Iwalo. They're both doing the same thing each time. They're both either checking to the ball or both running away from it. They've got to get in a combination where one's checking to the ball, one's stretching the back line by making that run in behind. Just starting to get used to playing with each other in that two front.
Opoku managed to bring it up this way and give it over to Bond on the near side. Due trying to battle for it and diving to make the save as Tambakis, as Heineman on the doorstep. I don't know if that would have gotten all the way through there, Jason, but Tambakis did the safe thing and just fell on it.
Yeah, he got to it, didn't give up a rebound, which is important. Those balls that are whipped across the top of your box.
Due up now for Canziora, and he'll slip it all the way back to Harrington. 14th minute, 0-0. North Carolina FC and Penn FC. Of course, Penn FC, formerly the Harrisburg City Islanders, in their first year in the rebrand as Penn FC. Had some success in the USL, but not for the past 4 years. Over now for Peebo Due as he battles his way up this left side. Step on it and slide it back to Smith. Now DeLuz. And it's headed up by Bond. Battle in the midfield for the ball. Due saves it back in. Bond picks it up, flicks it down the near sideline, and here's Ortiz on it. And they've got a chance for the counter. Over for Lucky Mkosana. And Footy Danso takes it off the head of Mkosana. And Stephen Miller will press forward from the right back spot.
It was a difficult ball there from Ortiz. He kind of drilled that thing at Mkosana's head. There wasn't much he can do with it. Thought he should have kept taking his space and made one of the defenders commit.
So now Rios gives it back over to Miller, and he'll slip it all the way back to Tambakis. The Grecian goalkeeper slipping it up to Harrington, and now Due on this near sideline. Deleuze trying to release Iwalo, and it's headed away by Tribbett.
They've got to do more of that. That Austin Deleuze, I think that's a great kind of no-look first-time pass. He just didn't get it quite high enough, but you've got to try to get these defenders for Penn FC to turn around and run towards their own goal somehow. Everything's very comfortable out in front of them.
Rios now gives it back to Becker, trying to get it over to Iwalo, and Tribbett heads it away again. Smith wins the ball there in the midfield, flicked it forward, but now a chance for a counter. Tambakis way off of his line as Mkosana going to give chase, but Tambakis slips it to Danso instead. And now Becker will try to regroup here as he'll switch the play to the near side and just drilled it off of Ortiz straight up into the air, as now Rios banged around. Smith goes to ground to save it for North Carolina FC, and wisely Canziora will settle it down back to Harrington. Deleuze slipping it up for Iwalo. Can he get back and save it inbounds? No, it'll run out along the near side for a throw-in for Penn FC.
Yeah, it's unlucky there from Iwalo. Just that first touch got away from him, but it was a good inside to out run. Austin Deleuze getting on the ball a little bit more with that left foot, getting his head up. Iwalo obviously has got speed to burn. He's just got to get that first touchdown, but it's a good run from the center forward.
Canziora heads it out, and it'll be another throw-in for Penn. And a giveaway there by Mauro Estaquio, and it'll be a throw-in for Austin Deleuze and North Carolina FC, as the captain now will leave it for Due as a throw-in. Due up for Iwalo, and he gives it away. Ortiz will drop it back now for Calvano. And Mkosana triple teamed and gives it up in the midfield, and North Carolina FC will start forward again from their own midline.
Yeah, Michael Harrington, the center back, is doing a good job of just being aggressive, stepping up, not making it easy for the forward to receive the ball.
Deleuze slipping it over for Canziora, but a small, not quite enough weight on that pass from Canziora, and it's knocked away and out for a throw-in for North Carolina FC in their own end, and Harrington will start to pull it forward. Over for Danso now. Played a little bit in the Malaysian Super League the last couple of years. Now back with North Carolina FC. Due trying to get it up to Iwalo, and Tribbett going to take it into the corner. Bang it up this near sideline. Due heads it down. Canziora over for Becker. Long shot, dipping right at the feet of the keeper, and the keeper just had to knock it out, as Romu Peiser really had a hard time with that dipping shot from Kyle Becker, and it's out for a corner kick.
Yeah, great first touch from Becker, and why not? He's got the ability to hit it from here. Bounces right in front of Peiser there. He's not able to get a good eye on it, and he's just got to force it out for the corner. But I like that from Kyle Becker. Really the first shot on goal. You got to test the goalkeeper, make sure he's involved in the game.
And Becker will take this corner, brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery's Carolina Keno. Becker will send it in, headed and punched forward, drops down to Smith. He can't quite get the shot off, as now Harrington heading it, and it gets loose. Here's Danso on the edge of the box. Offside. Of course, that corner kick brought to you by Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes. Visit nclottery.com to find out where you can play Carolina Keno. So Penn FC survives that corner kick opportunity, and they're trying to get it into the box here as Danso will knock it clear. Up for Rios, chipping it back now to Canziora, now back to Becker. Pushes it out to Due on the near side. Want to see him pick up the pace a little bit here if you're North Carolina FC. Got Penn on the ropes a little bit there the last couple of minutes, and maybe try to force the issue here, Jason.
Yeah, anytime you have that much space, you just got to take advantage of it. This team is well organized from Penn FC, so when you get the opportunity to switch the field and you have 30, 40 yards of space, take it quickly, try to unbalance this back line and these midfielders from Penn.
Up for Deleuze and knocked away from him. Danso will come back to clean it up, and Heineman really putting some high pressure on there. A dangerous chance as Danso kind of lackadaisically going after that one in the midfield. But he gets back to Tambakis, no harm done. And here, Becker nearly gave it away as Smith poked it back to Harrington. Getting a little, maybe a little sloppy in the back end right here for North Carolina FC. Jason, you want to see him start to get some little crisper passes here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, just got to move the ball quickly when a team is so built defensively like this Penn team. That's a great ball there from Becker.
Becker up to Miller on that overlapping run from the right back, and Miller will drop it back. Crossing into the box. Deleuze can't quite get on it as Bond headed it away from him all the way back to Becker, and now up for Harrington. He's got some space here on this near side, sends it over to Douay. Douay stepping back toward the middle, drops it to Deleuze, slipped over for Rios and taken away by Mauro Estaquio, and he'll bring it forward. Up now for Tommy Heineman, former North Carolina FC player back in the 2010 season, and he wins a free kick for Penn FC.
There's Tommy Heineman making a nuisance of himself again, causing the foul from Graham Smith. He's so strong holding the ball. We'll see it here. He does a great job. He's got 2 or 3 guys around him, just keeps fighting. Actually wins a tackle there. Graham Smith just grabs him around the waist. Certainly a foul.
Heineman really an interesting story this year. He signed with FC Cincinnati, but club canceled his contract, said he had an injury, he was medically unfit. Well, here he is landing with Penn FC, and he's already got a goal in the early going of the year, Jason.
Yeah, I think he's a valuable player. I'm not sure, obviously, all the details. I wasn't involved, but I know even the MLS Players Union got involved in this thing, and a little bit messy. Good to see Tommy Heineman on the field, though, right? That's where he belongs, on the field. And he's found a home here with Penn FC and already scored 1 goal. I'm sure there's many more to come for him this year.
Big, wide-bodied forward, and certainly capable of giving fits to central defense. Here's Canziora on it, turns, up for Becker, onside, edge of the 18, left-footed boot, blocked. Drop, one-time volley, skipped in off of Stephen Miller's foot. And Pacer manages to fall on that one. Great volley there by Stephen Miller, but a better save by the keep.
That was good stuff, James. I mean, watch this. That's great technique there. Again, bouncing right in front of the goalkeeper. Thought Iwalo, if he had a little bit more anticipation there, could have nicked one. Little half chance. But again, it comes from a good turn in midfield and going forward quickly.
So here comes Penn FC. Skip right past Heineman, and Douay poked it out to Ortiz. Penn FC staying on it as Estaquio managed to poke it away from Iwalo. Tribbett deflected by Deleuze, doing battle with Bond for it. Bond gives it away. Here's Canziora, chipped it back to Rios. Iwalo onside. He's into the edge of the 18. Iwalo crossing, poked away, all the way back out to Canziora. Becker was lurking right at the penalty spot. Canziora dropping it back to Deleuze. Deleuze slipping it over for Graham Smith. Now over for Miller. Miller turning with it, giving it back to Smith. Over for Becker. Becker back to Miller, and he'll give it back to Smith now. Harrington over for Douay, near side. Coming back to Deleuze, who chipped it right back to him, and now just probing along this near side. Really, North Carolina FC's done more on the left side than they have on the right so far here today, Jason, and not sure they might want to try that right side a little bit more. That's where they've had some success.
Yeah, absolutely. Just it's Austin Deleuze right now. He's the guy on the ball, making things happen with his runs, with his intelligent play.
Here's Iwalo, gives it away. Estaquio shields him off and wins a free kick for Penn FC.
Yeah, I think part of the issue is in this 4-4-2, Stephen Miller has come so far inside. He's gotten the ball where he's right at, we even saw that shot there. Here's a replay. Wow, just a little aggressive on the foul. Good job by Estaquio there, just using his body. But Stephen Miller, when the ball's on the left-hand side, he's tucked in so far. When they do switch it and switch it quickly, there's no one out on the right-hand sideline. You hear Coach Colin Clark yelling, got to get wide. That's for Stephen Miller to make sure someone is on that right-hand side.
Miller does have a goal and an assist so far this year. He played a little bit of right wing on the midfield side, and really, I know you feel like that might be where he's most dangerous, but right now with Connor Tobin's injury for North Carolina FC, he's really needed at the back on the right side.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the qualities to be able to go forward, score goals, get assists.
Ball sent out of play, and the official going to ask for them to restart it again on the throw-in. DeLuz will give it to Due for the throw. As our head official, J.J. Belinsky, you see the guns there on that guy.
Tell you what, Ed Hockley would be proud, wouldn't he?
He would be.
Goodness.
Been hitting the bench press and the incline a little bit.
I don't think anybody's messing with him either.
No, not at all. Smith slipping it all the way up to Canziora. Pulled, no call, they play on. Slipped it up now for Becker on the right side, crossing, back door, DeLuz trying to track it down, and it'll run out for a goal kick as Becker just overcooked the cross as he had three guys cutting into the box and couldn't find any of them.
Yeah, they had everything they wanted there. Canziora with that interception in the middle of the park. They had the play on, and just Becker just got too much of it. Austin DeLuz was wide open on the back post.
Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL players and the USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. A lot of great features at USLsoccer.com, particularly in that From the Pitch section. DeLuz headed away there by Tribbett, and it comes down to Canziora. He's on the full sprint in the edge of the 18, all the way across the front of the goal mouth as Iwalo couldn't get a foot on it. Now Becker challenging for it on the far side and runs over Opoku, and that'll be a free kick for Penn FC. As dangerous opportunity there for North Carolina FC. Iwalo just couldn't get a foot on it as Canziora slipped it all the way through the goal mouth.
Yeah, it's a good run from Canziora. I think here's the foul. Let's see it again. That's a fair challenge. I think both shoulder players going in with their shoulder.
One goes down, the other stays up.
But
tough call against Kyle Becker.
yeah, having a conversation there. Kyle Becker, I'm just stronger. Come on. Not the two biggest guys in the field either.
Yeah, Kyle Becker, 5'10", 165. Opoku out of Ghana, 5'6", 134. So Becker, even though he's one of the smaller guys on the field, still had 30 pounds on him.
Could tell the way it went down.
Heineman up to Ortiz, deflected off Due. Good challenge there from Smith as Estaquio had to slip it quickly over to Opoku. Opoku gets around a man, trying to drive one with that left foot and deflects out off the defender and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, good stuff there from Penn FC. But on the other side, North Carolina, just great opportunities, but just that final ball, that final pass, to really put somebody in a goal-scoring position has been lacking so far. But much better possession-wise over the last 10 or 15 minutes.
It's Tribbett, one of two goal scorers on the season for Penn FC as he slips it up to Ortiz, who gives it away. And here, Iwalo winning possession back, and DeLuz holding it for North Carolina FC. Knocked forward by Harrington. Estaquio battling for it with Rios. Tribbett heading it forward. DeLuz will let it go out for a throw-in just across midfield for North Carolina FC. Minute 28, we're 0-0 from WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, and a beautiful night for soccer. North Carolina FC will return to Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park, May 25th, when they take on Atlanta United 2. 7 o'clock start. Tickets to the match are on sale now by purchasing them online, NorthCarolinaFC.com, or you can call the North Carolina Football Club ticket office, 919-454-8144. Throw in coming up here from Penn FC. Deep in their own end, and really after that first 10 minutes where Penn held most of the possession, Jason, we've seen really the field kind of tilt more in the favor of North Carolina FC. They've held the possession, had some better chances, and here another opportunity.
Yeah, their passing has been excellent so far. See these little small passes in the box. There it is.
Rios knocked away at the last second by Tribbett. Iwalo gets on it. Now Becker, edge of the 18, going to cross it, back post. It falls right onto the head of DeLuz and into the back of the net. Austin DeLuz with his first goal of the year in minute 29, and North Carolina FC is off and running. They've got a 1-0 lead. Beautifully chipped ball by Kyle Becker and it finds the head of Austin Duluth at the edge of the 6.
Yeah, it was excellent defending there initially by Penn FC, but Iwalo, he stays on it. Excuse me. And draws it back to Becker here. A little chip in the box. He picks out Austin Duluth perfectly. Just a point-blank header, and he does the rest past the goalkeeper. What a baller from Kyle Becker. Base here decides not to go for it, and Austin Duluth scores a ton of goals with his head and adds another one there. But it's what North Carolina FC deserved. Finally, it was a quality ball into the box that got the finish. But right now, they've got to keep the pressure up. They've got the momentum, scored their goal. They've got to keep it up here. Not allow Penn to get back into this game.
Beautiful chip ball by Kyle Becker. His first assist, opening his account with North Carolina FC, and Austin Duluth, the captain, off and running with his campaign. First goal of the season for him. And it's 1-0 North Carolina FC here as we go into the 30th minute. Penn FC will have a free kick in North Carolina FC's end here. They're going to push a lot of guys forward, as only scored 2 goals all season. And if you're Penn, you got to wonder where maybe the equalizer might come from today. You can't figure you're going to get more than 1 or 2 goals, only scoring 2 goals in 5 games so far this year. Knocked in. Tambakis comes well off the line and jumps up over him, Kasana, to snatch it away.
Yeah, good confident take there by Tambakis. Didn't even feel the need to punch the ball. Excellent work by the goalkeeper.
He'll play it forward as Estacquio will pull it in. Sent back now for Tribbett. Tribbett over to Bond. Duluth with some high press. Send it right back to Tribbett. Over for Harry Hawkins. And up for Frederick Opoku. Back to Ortiz, dropping a little more centrally in the midfield. Tribbett. Pushed from behind by Iwalo. Common foul there. And it'll be a free kick for Penn FC.
You know, we'll see what they like to do today. Play short, here's the foul. Iwalo just a little too aggressive here. No need to foul there. You've got plenty of players in position. The young player, he's going to learn that over time, especially when you're 5 yards away from Colin Clark and he's yelling at you. You're going to learn it quickly.
So Miller slides, but Opoku gets around him. Skipped it off of, looked like maybe Canziora got a foot on that. And now here's Becker. Now for Rios. Rolling it back now for Graham Smith over to Austin Duluth on the left side. Duluth looking to switch it back. Gives it back to Smith instead, and they'll roll it over to Stephen Miller on the far sideline here in minute 32. 1-0 North Carolina FC on the 29-minute marker by Austin Duluth. Thibaut Douillet near side. 1-2 pass with Austin Duluth, and here's Douillet down the near sideline, cutting it back into the middle, rolls it up for Rios, flick back to Becker. Opportunity, blast and deflected by Opoku, and it trickles all the way back to Romu Paiser.
Yeah, great combination play again. Nice little touch there from Rios. You saw Becker was opened up his hips. He was going to try to bend that thing into the upper 90. Caught the deflection, but North Carolina FC looking confident now on the ball since the goal in those 15 minutes before the goal. Combination play has been excellent. Austin Duluth with the goal, but also he's really created a lot of these chances.
Opoku doing a great job coming back on that one to get the deflection, because Becker had time and space there. Just took a little too long with it. Ortiz now in the middle of the park for Penn FC. Steps on it, sends it over to Opoku, who's probably been the most flashy and best player so far for Penn FC today. Long cross, and Heinemann's going to be offside. And it'll be free kick for North Carolina FC.
And they got their first half goal here. Coach Colin Clark, I think, will be happy with the way they've played so far. Just erase that first 5 minutes or so, but the combination play has been excellent. The movement off the ball has been great. Just that final pass, we saw the one really good final pass resulted in a goal. They've had 4 or 5 other opportunities to create something like that.
And that's really been the story of the season here early going for North Carolina FC. They've had quality chances, particularly here at home, just haven't been able to finish them. But that right there, the finish from Austin Duluth, no doubt about it, as Becker had the beautiful chip. So it's nice to see the finishing coming in here tonight for North Carolina FC and their supporters.
Absolutely. And those midfielders, Becker, Canziora, Graham Smith, Austin DeLuz, they've been really, really good for my money here. Just clean on the ball. And Graham Smith, see, he wants the ball every single time. You see every North Carolina FC player is demanding the ball. There's Austin DeLuz finding those little pockets there.
Here's DeLuz slipping it over to Douay on the near side. He nutmegs Bond, gets to the inline, crossed into the edge of the box, over the head of Rios. Becker flicked it on and in. Kyle Becker gets a marker in minute 35 as Douay with the assist. He went right over the head of Daniel Rios at the penalty kick spot, but it falls to Kyle Becker, and he chipped it over the keeper and in, and it's 2-0 North Carolina FC.
This is great stuff from Douay. I've been waiting for him to do this one-on-one. He just skins the defender. Great ball. I thought it could have been a foul. And I don't know how much Kyle Becker knows about that one, but he's able to get a touch on it. I thought it could have been a penalty on Rios, and Becker, look at that. Just sticks his foot out. It goes right over the goalkeeper's head into the back of the net. He'll take it. He'll say he was meaning to do that the whole time. But a great ball from Pivo Douay, just getting down that left-hand side, one-on-one.
Good things happen when you put the ball in the box, and Kyle Becker finishes that one off. A goal and an assist so far here tonight for the Canadian national, and it's 2-0 North Carolina FC.
Yeah, now if you're Coach Voss, you're sitting there. This Penn team hasn't been able to score a lot of goals. You're kind of searching for what happens next here. They haven't threatened at all, really, so far in this game. You're hoping to come into this North Carolina FC game on the road and keep it 0-0 at halftime, or see if you can steal something. But right now, being down 2 goals, it's hard to see where they're going to come from.
Certainly hard to see where it's going to come from. In 5 games, you got 2, and you're going to need 2 here in the next 55 minutes. So a tough ask here for Raul Voss and Penn FC, as North Carolina FC off with 2 goals here in the early going. Douay with the near side touch. Bring it up to the midfield line and slip it up for Iwalo. Knocked out by Tribbett, and it'll be a throw in for Penn FC. The USL official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Canziora winning it back, slipping it up to Rios. Slide tackle by Tribbett. Rios gets it back, poked it over to Becker, edge of the 18, trying to slip it around the keeper. Now back up to Rios, and he slots it into the middle of the net. Minute 37. Daniel Rios is 4th of the year, as nothing the keeper could do. Romer Peiser was down and out after the initial shot by Becker got deflected. Becker gets the deflection, slides it to Rios, and Rios slots it home. 3-0.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Again, Canziora just with this little touch, and Rios, he deserved this goal because of the work he did here. Just stayed with the ball. He slips in Becker for a great opportunity. The ball is blocked, and look at Becker, just sets up his center forward. You want to keep the center forwards happy, James, and he did there. Daniel Rios getting his goal. Watch this little touch from Becker, and the easiest finish Daniel Rios is probably going to have this entire season.
4th goal of the year for Daniel Rios. 2nd assist of the night for Kyle Becker. A 3-point night. And you take a look at Daniel Rios there, the happy goal scorer in his 5th start of the season for North Carolina FC, his 4th goal.
Yeah, it's been excellent. They've kept up the pressure. You see it here, still pressing. Sometimes you need one of these games where you can score a bunch of goals, get everybody involved, everybody's feeling good. It can kind of be a jump start to the rest of your season. Obviously, a lot of time to go in this one, but North Carolina FC with a great first half performance here so far.
Minjeever stepping on it, giving it back to Ortiz for Penn FC as they probe, trying to claw back into this game, down 3-0 now, and Minjeever is going to send it long for Heineman and headed away by Miller, but Heineman was offside.
Yeah, it's a 2nd or 3rd offside called against Tommy Heineman as well. He's a little frustrated.
So it'll be Harrington sending it up for Douay, back to DeLuz and back to Douay. Oak City supporters in full throat now with a 3-goal lead, back behind Alex Tambakis. The drum beat from back behind North Carolina FC. Been there all season and certainly happy to see their club out with a 3-goal lead. First lead of the season at Wake Med Soccer Park, I believe, for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, That's the way they've gone about it. They've been excellent in possession, creating chances.
Slotted up for Heineman, and a step offside as the flag goes up. Quick restart for Tambakis. But Heineman just a half step off.
He's trying to set a record for offsides and a half. He doesn't believe he's offsided ever, but it's 3 or 4 on him.
Due gives it away. Iwalo comes back to win it. Kanziora giving it back. Mkasana gives it up.
Wow.
Here's Smith taken down rather cynically, and that's going to be a card. The card coming out of the pocket. And it will be shown to Mauro Estaquio from Nazaré, Portugal.
Yeah, I think it's a little frustration here. Like he tries to meg against Iwalo there, then a tough challenge on Graham Smith. He gets to the ball again. Estaquio, he just comes in and just blades him there, takes him to the ground. I think it's a deserved yellow card. Graham Smith, though, fighting in the midfield.
And a good look at it there, just a late challenge. Studs to the foot, and Estaquio gets shown the yellow. First time the cards come out of the pocket today in the 40th minute. And it is 3-0 North Carolina FC. Chipped forward for Iwalo. And Tribbett there to take it away. Knocking it up for Mkosana, who chests it back to Ortiz. And now it'll get knocked over for Opoku. He'll chip it back for Hawkins. And now over. Back to Estaquio. Bond on it with the near side. He'll slide it all the way back for Calvano. Up to Ortiz. Just at the midfield line. Knocked away. North Carolina FC trying to win it back, but Ortiz gets it. Austin DeLuz winning the ball with a nice tackle, sliding his left foot in there. And Iwalo will start forward for North Carolina FC. Becker at the midfield stripe. Deflected by Mkosana, but it falls to Iwalo. Back to Miller, now Becker. Sliding it back to Denzo. He's got time to switch it to the near side. Harrington, plenty of room. Due with it near side, back to Austin DeLuz, and now Due. Harrington pulling it forward, slips it up all the way to Daniel Rios. Bond coming in. Through the arm, took down Rios, won the ball. Estaquio sending it over now for Opoku.
Bond came in strong there on Rios. He wasn't sure what hit him. A fair challenge, though.
That was the number 16 train. And they'll send it back over to him as Bond will haul it in. Jake Bond working it. DeLuz wins it back for North Carolina FC, and here's Due. Bond battling for it. Wrestling match ensues, and Bond going to pick it back up, flicks it off of DeLuz for a throw-in for Penn FC, deep in North Carolina FC's end.
Yeah, key moments here for North Carolina FC, right? A couple minutes before halftime. Everything's been pretty comfortable now, but don't give up a goal right before halftime and have something to think about.
Tribbett will slide it back for Calvano. Opoku, edge of the box, giving it up to Minjeever. He's got it on his right foot, sliding it back all the way for Hawkins. Hawkins rolled forward again for Minjeever, up for Heineman, and the ball pinballs away. Mkosana comes back to get it. Now Opoku on the far side, looking to cross it. Edge of the box, Heineman heads it down for the back post, just sliding just off the post. Tambakis couldn't get a hand on it, but it slid just wide of the near side post and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, as we just mentioned, James, you see this ball in. Tommy Heineman establishing his position. Dangerous opportunity there, just puts the header wide of the post. Tambakis probably would argue with me that he had it covered.
Up now to Stephen Miller. He's going to send a long diagonal ball, trying to get Austin DeLuz on it. DeLuz will make it. Gives it back to Iwalo, edge of the 18, running right at a man, curling it right at Romo Paiser. And the French goalkeeper swallows it whole.
Iwalo getting in on the action too. He wants to find himself a goal.
Everybody feeling good right now if you're North Carolina FC, up 3-0 here in minute 44 at home. Estacquio slipping it to Ortiz. Now Bond on the near side. DeLuz does a nice job to knock it away. North Carolina Courage return to Salem Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park Sunday, May 6th, 3 p.m. They take on the Chicago Red Stars. Tickets to the match on sale. You can purchase them at nccourage.com or by calling the North Carolina Football Club ticket office, 919-454-8144. Late minutes here in the first half. North Carolina FC up on Penn FC, 3-0. Glad to have you on WREL2 and 95.7 The Ticket. There's some North Carolina FC USL Soccer. Becker challenged, knocked down, but he gets it all the way back for Miller. Now back to Becker. Run on. Cross into the box, headed up into the air, falling and punched off the head of Austin DeLuz over the crossbar, but that ball popped high into the air, and Romo Peiser really not able to get anything on it.
Yeah, Austin DeLuz said, why not go up with the goalkeeper? This is close.
Looked like Peiser did get something on it. It's going to be a corner kick for North Carolina FC, brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery, Carolina Keno. It'll be Becker to take it again. First corner of the match was very dangerous for North Carolina FC. We'll see what they can do here with the second one as Becker will send it an out swinger. Drops down right on the penalty spot. Ball still loose. Douay blasts it over the bar.
Oh, Douay, he's going to have nightmares about that one. The left back at the top of the 18.
Fell right to him.
Look at it right here. He's never going to get a better chance than this. And just slices that thing, gets underneath it, didn't follow through. A little excitement there from the left back, finding himself all alone at the top of the box.
Brought to you by Carolina Keno, giving you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes. Look for Keno in select locations you enjoy spending time, like restaurants, pubs, and convenience stores. Visit nclottery.com to find out where you can play Carolina Keno. And that'll do it for the first half. North Carolina FC off and running with 3 goals in the first half. They do it in a matter of about 10 minutes. And we're going to look at the highlights, among other things, here at the first half as North Carolina FC got to be very happy with how things look with a 3-0 lead at halftime over Penn FC. And when we come back, we'll take a look at some highlights as well as a feature from Tampa Bay Rowdy's Jack Blake. We'll have all that on the other side of the break here on WREL2 and North Carolina FC Soccer. Back inside Wake Med Soccer Park in Salins Stadium. A happy home crowd as North Carolina FC is out to a 3-0 lead over Penn FC. Welcome back to halftime, everybody. I'm James Alverson alongside Jason Gary. And Jason, really the story of the first half, North Carolina FC gets off and running. They get some momentum, and it just snowballed for Penn FC. 3 goals in a matter of about 10 minutes for the home side.
Yeah, they were excellent. After that first 5 minutes where they're just feeling out the game, North Carolina FC started to put together that passing, got the ball out wide, got it through the middle. The midfielders were excellent. And we see the forwards. We see Daniel Rios getting on the score sheet, Kyle Becker, Austin DeLuz. Those midfielders have been excellent. I think Coach Colin Clark is very happy with how that first half went. Really gave up only 1 half chance to Penn FC. And for Penn FC, they're really at a loss right now is how are we going to get back into this game? They haven't been able to score any goals.
Only 1 goal so far at home for North Carolina FC coming into tonight. 3 here in the first half. So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for both teams and see what's on the docket. A trip to FC Cincinnati. That'll be a tough one for Colin Clark and North Carolina FC, but then 4 straight home matches as they take on Atlanta United, Bethlehem Steel, FC Cincinnati, and the Ottawa Fury. What stands out to you, Jason?
Yeah, what stands out, the one thing that all North Carolina FC fans will realize is FC Cincinnati, Nazmi Al-Badawi, the former captain of this North Carolina FC team. That's where he's playing these days. But really, to me, it's kind of the bulk of the season right there, right? You've got these 4 matches at home that you get 10, 12 points out of those games. That would really set you up for the back end of the season. So they've got to take care of business at home, similar to what they're doing here tonight.
And FC Cincinnati, really the only team in that grouping that's in playoff position right now. Ottawa Fury dead last in the division. Bethlehem Steel in 12th place, 1 position ahead of North Carolina FC, and Atlanta United in 11th, just 2 spots ahead of North Carolina FC. Now let's take a look at the Penn FC upcoming schedule. Of course, a little bit tougher here as they got to take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are in 2nd place right now in the division. Then they get Ottawa Fury at home, Toronto FC 2 on the road, and then 3 road matches to wrap up this 5-game set for Penn FC. What do you see here, Jason?
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of North Carolina FC, right? They've got a very tough game against Tampa Bay, one of the better teams in the league. And they've obviously got the Ottawa team. They're going to need to get a result. But those 3 games away, if they're in a situation where they're not scoring goals, that can where your season can really just turn around right there, either for the positive where you get some results, or if you're not taking care of business, the season kind of go away.
It can really snowball on you in a hurry when you go on the road that many times in a row. North Carolina FC can tell you about that. They've gotten results in their last 3 on the road, and they're back home now as they have a 3-0 lead over Penn FC. As we take a look at what's been going on here tonight, and we'll get right to a feature from the USL as it'll be a Blake down, as Jack Blake is going to bring us a little bit of video insight as he's a Tampa Bay Rowdies player, and he'll show us a little bit of some things behind the scenes here in the USL as we take a look at the Blake down here at halftime.
Welcome to the Blake Down once again. Thank you to everyone on social media that's given me positive comments, and I really appreciate the support. Here's episode 5, week 6 of the Blake Down.
Played into the penalty area, some good give and go here. There's a shot, and they've opened the scoring.
This team goal by North Carolina is fantastic. If you notice that there's always players on the move. They're always giving the attacking player who's got the ball an option to move. For Rios there, he has 2 or 3 options at the time when he received the ball, and he just found himself in extremely good space. But again, it's just the constant movement of the team, and it makes it very difficult for the defenders to track runners. Once again, it's a fantastic first-time finish, especially on turf, into the top corner.
Oh, bad back pass. Arboleda picks it up, takes the shot, and puts it in the back of the net.
Arboleta's goal starts with his positioning. If you notice, he gives himself an opportunity to close down the centre-back, and he reads the pass extremely well and uses his pace to get there. And then obviously, once he's used his pace, he has to slow himself down. And you see from the finish that there's nothing the keeper could do about that. The celebration is not so much in for Player of the Week, but the finish definitely is.
For Escalante. Goes well to pick this up. Goes through the legs of Navarro. Sends the service. Had it.
Escalante's skill here has 2 or 3 different stages. The first stage is when he receives the ball, and it's not the greatest ball to him, but he makes the most out of it. And when he turns, the defender, he's expecting the defender to tackle him. When the defender doesn't make a move, then that's his opportunity to create the skill. And the composure as well. Once he's made the skill, not to get carried away, but to have the composure to cross it. And it's a fantastic cross, and I think he's expecting more from his striker there.
Iwasa, Bijev cuts, plays it across. Oh, it's in!
When Hall receives the ball here, it's not the easiest ball to deal with. He uses it to his advantage, and it draws two defenders out. And once he's drew the two defenders out, it then creates more space for Bijev. And when he receives the ball, I think the defenders expect him to go on his right foot, but he does a fantastic skill. And at a tight angle there, it's a fantastic finish. The composure to relax himself, but to slot it through the keeper is fantastic. And it makes it very difficult for the keeper to get down low when he shoots it at his legs. I hope you've all enjoyed episode 5, week 6 of the Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Fantastic work on the Breakdown by Jack Blake of the Tampa Bay Rowdies as we take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. And right now, Louisville FC, they're really off and running, 13 points in 5 games. Really, really strong for the defending champions. And, of course, the Tampa Bay Rowdies lurking right behind them with those 12 points, Jason.
Yeah, you see some 2 experienced teams there in Louisville and Tampa Bay. Louisville's just cruising right now. They're in cruise control, getting the results.
And you see Charlotte Independence leading in the early season, jumped out to 7 quick points. They've dropped all the way back out of playoff position at this point. Richmond Kickers right behind them. And we'll take a look at page 2 of the standings here into the teams that are just outside of the playoff picture. Atlanta United 2, 6 points. Bethlehem Steel, North Carolina FC, both on 5 points each, and Penn FC on the 4 on their 4 straight draws. So in draw form so far for Penn FC, North Carolina FC looking for some home points here tonight to maybe catapult themselves in to that playoff picture.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. You can make some pretty big jumps getting these 3-pointers. So, you know, well on their way here tonight with a 3-0 lead, but they've got to start putting together those results at home, and they get in that home stretch of 4 home games in a row. Can you get those 10, 12 points out of those games, and you'll leapfrog right up to the top of the standings.
Let's take a look at the scores from around the USL. And, of course, earlier today, FC Cincinnati 3-0 winners over Ottawa Fury. Ottawa still languishing down in last place with only 1 point on the season on 1 draw. And that was in their last game. Just a tough start to the season for the Ottawa Fury. Of course, New York Red Bulls 2 and Toronto FC 2, 0-0, 65th minute. And Louisville City FC 3-0 on top of Bethlehem Steel, who continues to struggle, still on 5 points with North Carolina FC.
Yeah, absolutely. Louisville up 3-0 in the 23rd minute of that game. They are cruising, and they are just really feeling it. Their attack is dangerous. Good stuff from Louisville.
Charleston Battery off to a good start at the half, up 1-0 on the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and Charleston trying to make it a 2-win week as they beat Atlanta United 2 3-0 earlier in the week. Great look at the scoreboard. As we come back, we'll take a look at the first half highlights and stats as North Carolina FC off to a 3-0 lead at recess against Penn FC. You're watching North Carolina FC and Penn FC on WRAL2 and ESPN+.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on a club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents said, like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
Perfect night for soccer here at Wake Med Soccer Park in Salem Stadium, and North Carolina FC off to a 3-0 lead over Penn FC. As we get ready for the start of the second half, let's take a look at the first half highlights and show you how we got the 3-0. And it was Austin Lewis opening his account on the season early as the captain got North Carolina FC off to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, some good work here by Walla. But look at this ball from Becker. Pinpoint cross right on Austin DeLue's head. He doesn't miss from there. Picers just can't go anywhere there. Austin DeLue's finishes it with his head. Great start there for North Carolina FC. You could feel the kind of momentum building throughout this stadium once they got that first goal.
And the supporters excited to see the club off to their first lead at home of the season. And then here's Pibo Due getting in on the action as he finds Kyle Becker.
Absolutely, Pibo Due. First time he really took on that defender, and it finds its way to Becker, who just gets a touch on it. It goes up and over the goalkeeper's head. He can't believe it. But a great finish there from Kyle Becker, just being in the right place at the right time where he's supposed to be on the back post.
And here, just a turnover, and North Carolina FC makes them pay as Daniel Rios is going to capitalize and slide one in.
Yeah, absolutely. Did all the hard work here, the center forward. Kyle Becker's initial shot gets blocked, but a great setup pass from Becker. Gets the assist. Daniel Rios, the center forward. You always want to keep feeding that guy, keep him happy, keep him scoring goals. And 3-0 to North Carolina FC, and they've really just dominated that first half of play.
Here's a look at the first half stats. It's been all North Carolina FC so far. 10 shots, 6 of them on target. They've only had 8 shots on target in their last 4 games, so good to see that flip around for Colin Clark and the North Carolina FC.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Penn, it's just been a horror show really going forward. You see only 2 shots, but none on target. They really haven't threatened. See what Coach Voss does here in the second half. Some changes possible just to try to jumpstart this team and get them something going offensively.
2 changes right off the jump, as Aaron Dennis will come in the midfield for Jerry Ortiz, and Pedro Galvao will come on for Harry Hawkins at left back. So a couple of changes right from the jump, and Penn FC going to see what they can do as they drop into what looks to be a 4-5-1 formation here in the midfield, with Lucky Mkosana dropping a little bit more into a midfield type role behind Tommy Heineman up top.
Yeah, it looks like they have changed the formation. Not sure if they're going to go to a 4-5-1, which wouldn't make a lot of sense, or if they're going to try to do some kind of 3-5-1-1 kind of formation with Mkosana sitting underneath Tommy Heineman. We'll see how this thing develops.
So Galvao in at the left back spot for Hawkins, and Aaron Dennis in for Jerry Ortiz in that central midfield role. Which surprises me a little bit. Ortiz really looked like he was maybe one of the better players in that first half for Penn FC. He saw a lot of the ball and did fairly well with it, I thought, Jason. A little bit surprised to see him come off this early.
Yeah, he's come out of the game. It looks from up here, and it's really obviously early, but it looks like Tribbett's maybe moved from that center back role into a holding midfielder type of role. I have a feeling they're kind of going to some kind of 3-back formation. They moved the big center back up in the middle because, gosh, North Carolina FC in the first half just had their way with the midfield of Penn FC.
So some big changes, and we'll see how they play out here for Raul Voss in his first season at the helm of Penn FC, as they slide it forward for Tribbett. And it'll come over for Pedro Galvao, who makes his first touch. And Picer will bang it forward. Tribbett hitting it back, and it flicks on to Danso. Danso flicking it up for Rios, who was offside when the ball was played. He lets it go all the way back to the keeper. Minute 47 here of 90 tonight. North Carolina FC up 3-0 at home and looking for their first 3-pointer at the home park. It's Estaquio trying to get it forward. Nice run from Aaron Dennis, but the ball is taken out by Pibo Due, And out for a throw-in. Reminder, the official hotel partner of North Carolina Football Club is Summit Hospitality Group. As Austin DeLuz will knock one forward, and it's headed back in as Heineman comes in and flicks it forward. Ball falls, and Danso pokes it out all the way to Rios. Back to Canziora, and now Due. Up for Tambakis, and now Danso. They'll let it run out as North Carolina FC with a chance to get on the ball with some possession here. Try to establish a little bit of a rhythm here in the second half after such a good 15 minutes there in the middle part of the first half, Jason.
Yeah, they really were excellent. Those midfielders playing with confidence, and the combination, the quick play, the 1- and 2-touch passing. It's got to be a foul.
Yeah, and that is going to be a card coming out of the pocket.
Daniel Rios has done some good running. He's gotten into a lot of tackles, a lot of collisions. But that's what you want from your center forward. Just got to the ball just before Jake Bond here, I think. I think he gets a touch on this thing. Yeah, that's a dangerous tackle there from Jake Bond. He deserved a yellow card there. Studs up right on the foot of Daniel Rios.
He had another tough challenge earlier that there was no foul on. It was a clean challenge. That one coming in from behind with the studs like you talked about, and J.J. Belinsky decided it's time to issue the card here in minute 49. Second yellow card of the night for Penn FC. And it'll be an alpaca Peruvian charcoal chicken free kick for North Carolina FC as Becker will stand over it. Looks to be an in-swinger with the right foot from about 40 yards out. Sends it in, punched out by the keeper all the way back to Canziora. Ball still loose as they finally do track it down. Canziora down in a heap on the edge of the 18, grabbing his foot as he got a little tangled up and twisted there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that wasn't a foul from the referee. I think Canziora gets to this ball.
And a couple players down in the box as well. As you see, that one is Canziora down in a heap.
I think that's Footy Donzo down in the box. That'd be trouble for them. Hopefully he's going to be okay with Connor Tobin already out. Not a whole lot of depth there at the center back position.
Didn't get a good look at what happened back behind the play there. And looks like Penn FC got a player down in the box as well. I'm not sure who that is. We'll see if we can get a look at it here.
Footy Donzo. I think it's Tribbett. They just get tangled up there, right? Yeah.
Both players going for the ball there, and Tribbett just got kind of hung up on Danso. Both of them got pulled down, and you see him grabbing the back of his head as he maybe took a little bit of an forearm or an elbow to the back of the head there. And Tribbett going to come off. Danso will come off for just a minute as they'll both, I'm sure, step back out onto the pitch shortly. But Footy Danso, such a critical member of the team right now with Connor Tobin out. You glad to see him hop back up if you're Colin Clark.
Yeah, that's two big bodies right there. Both players just going for the ball. Inadvertent kind of deal there.
Canziora's been very good tonight as well, and you saw him grabbing that right toe. So we'll have to keep an eye on him as he's still on the pitch.
Yeah, he just had so many lower body injuries with the ankles and the feet and everything. You just hope that he's going to be fine because he's been excellent tonight there in the center of midfield.
Iwalo coming back, doing battle as DeLuz trying to take the quick throw in, but it is actually a Penn FC throw in. So the captain trying to make it happen quickly there on the sideline as he knocked it out. And now both Tribbett and Danso will come back on for their respective sides. Heineman heading it forward. Now Danso will control it at the back for North Carolina FC as he steps on it here in minute 52. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Due with it at midfield. He'll step and roll it back. 3-0 North Carolina FC in front. James Alverson, Jason Gary, your broadcast crew here tonight.
And part of this for North Carolina FC is just being smart with the ball. You don't want to just back off and let Penn FC have possession. Continue to play your game just like this. Kyle Becker, great turn from him. Good quick movement of the ball. Great ball from Harrington there.
Harrington blasting it forward. DeLuz will let it run under his feet. Trickles it back to Harrington.
And for Penn FC, there's really just no urgency. There's no high pressure. They haven't stepped up their line. They've been right here, kind of at midfield. Tommy Heineman's doing some running, but no one up to support him. So once you break that kind of initial pressure, it's not putting up much of a fight.
Penn FC heading it back out and pulled down here by Canziora as Heineman is going to win a free kick for Penn FC.
He sold it pretty well. I think Footy Donzo did have a hand on him, but he sold it.
Veteran move and wins a free kick for his club. Is got a handful of jersey there, so certainly worthy of a call, and it'll be a free kick for Penn FC. Taken quickly as they'll get back into the flow of things quickly. Played forward for Mkosana. Deflects away, and maybe a foul called here back behind the play, and it'll be a free kick for North Carolina FC. Great look at tonight's match, of course, provided by Kyle Lang and his great crew. We appreciate the work of Joe Ferrara, Savannah Ravella in the truck with Colin Thrash and Ian Lang, who's on replay tonight. On the cameras, Brian Ware, Jason Andrews, Matt McCullough down on the sidelines, and Curtis Adams. We appreciate our crew's great hard work. Best crew in the USL. And I'm not biased. Slipped over on the near side. Galvo up with it. Galvo slided up to Tribbett now, playing a little bit more of an attacking role. Slots it up for Mkosana. Onside. Crossed. Back post, nobody home as it clears over everybody. And Tommy Heineman trying to run it down on the far sideline is double teamed. And North Carolina FC with a chance to break here as Pibo Due is on it. And he just gives it away, but Deleuze manages to win it. Pinballing around in the midfield, finally settled down by Aaron Dennis. Dennis will turn into the middle of the park. Slipped it past Mkosana and knocked forward by Stephen Miller. And here's Becker on it for North Carolina FC as they cross midfield. Canziora sliding it to Deleuze. Deleuze up for Iwalo. Iwalo stepping on it. He's got all kinds of time and space. Sent it right at the keeper. And Romu Peiser falls on it. As certainly more that could have been done for Donovan Iwalo on that one, as he had all kinds of time and space, Jason.
Yeah, it's a great cutback here. Fakes the cross here, but he's just got to keep going. He's got to have the confidence just to keep going, take on another defender or two, or get his head up and find that trailing runner. I think Kyle Becker was trailing the play. Just cut that one back and let Becker slide into the back of the net.
Lay that one back as everybody in the 6-yard box just lay it back to the penalty spot. Yep. Somebody would have been open.
Yeah, even without looking, you could just put it right in that spot, and if somebody's not there, then Coach Colin Clark could yell at the midfielder for not getting into the box. Not that he yells a lot or anything.
Not at all, especially not on a night when you're up 3-0. As here is Opoku on it, and he is taken down rather harshly by Graham Smith, and it'll be a free kick for Penn FC as you see Frederick Opoku from Ghana holding that left arm.
He's drawn quite a few fouls tonight. Graham Smith, I think, just gets his hands in the back of him a little bit. Goes down pretty easily, but once you have that arm extended, the referee's going to call that a foul 9 times out of 10. Right here, it's where he extends that left hand. Just kind of gives a little shove. It's easy for the referee to see it.
Graham Smith called for the foul here in minute 57. And Estaquio sending it all the way to the back, headed back into the box and over the crossbar, as not really able to get a whole lot on it. A couple of heads from Penn FC get to it, but nothing dangerous as Aaron Dennis sitting back into the box.
Aaron Dennis has been trying to get involved as the number 9 playing on that right-hand side. But really, it's almost like they're in a 4-3-3, but I really still can't tell from up here what type of formation Penn's come out with here.
Rios gets on it, and here's Deleuze. Back heel pass, and it just ran out ahead of.
Yeah, it's unlucky for him, but I think he set the tone tonight in the first half, James, when he just got on the ball, started finding those little pockets, creating. Obviously, he scored the first goal, but he's been excellent on both sides of the ball tonight.
Canziora taken down in the midfield, no call. Mkosana. Slip it up to Heineman, and it'll bring it all the way over here for Galvao. Galvao at midfield will slip it back to his defensive partner. Harry Hawkins, who I thought came out. I'm guessing it was somebody else.
They might have taken
Hawkins is now at the center back position.
Maybe it was Minjivar. I think maybe the midfielder when they replaced, they put Tribbett up. Maybe he was the guy that came out.
It was Minjivar. Minjivar out. Galvao in. Galvao is playing left back. Hawkins at center back. And really looks like a three-man defensive back line for Penn FC as Calvano is on the right back side.
Yeah, I think you're right, James, but still, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, frankly, about what exact formation they're really playing.
Haven't seen a whole lot of shape out of them.
Yeah.
As that one runs out ahead of Opoku. And out for a North Carolina FC throw-in. 3-0. North Carolina FC is on top. And North Carolina FC will return to Salem Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park on May 25th, 7 o'clock as they face Atlanta United 2. Tickets on sale now and can be purchased online at NorthCarolinaFC.com or by calling North Carolina Football Club ticket office 919-454-8144. Ball flicked out of play, and it'll be another throw in just in front of the North Carolina FC bench as Stephen Miller will take it this time here in minute 59. Thrown in, Iwalo pulling it down. Taken away, Opoku. Slotting it up the near side, not enough for Heineman as Danso cuts it out. Banged back forward, Mkosana heading it forward. And Harrington will play it back to his keeper. Back to Harrington.
That's a good example there, James, of just Penn FC not pushing forward. That ball's going backwards to the goalkeeper. Heineman's pressing, but so easy just to go with one pass and get around Heineman. There's no one there supporting him.
So Tribbett pushing forward now even. The captain wearing the armband tonight. Been playing central back and kind of in a sweeper role as here Peebo Due getting around a defender and sliding it back to Austin Deleuze. Now Smith slots it up for Iwalo. Could not quite get it there.
Yeah, but I guess, James, the point is it shouldn't be Tribbett. He's playing the defensive midfielder role, and he's trying to say, hey, guys, we've got to push forward. He shouldn't be the one pressing the center back.
Now he's going to slide forward again as his goalkeeper will bang one long for Heineman. Douye does battle with him. Heineman heading it back. And Aaron Dennis trying to track it down. Finally does fall to the feet of Penn FC. And here's Estaquio giving it over to Galvao. Galvao up for Opoku. Getting around Stephen Miller and run down from behind. It'll be a free kick for Penn FC here in the 61st minute.
Tell you what, Opoku's got a quick first step, man. That guy's got some wheels on him.
Only 134 pounds, though. Ball headed up into the air. Tambakis comes off of his line, knocks down his defender Danso, but he cleans it up at the back as Mkosana waiting on it there at the penalty spot, hoping it would drop. Tambakis alertly off the line to clean it up here with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot to do tonight, Alex Tambakis, but he's been very good, confident off his line, aggressive off of his line.
Here's Deleuze off the head of Iwalo, gets around a defender, edge of the 18, chips it back to Becker, lets it run through to Iwalo, onto the left foot, just over the bar. From the edge of the 18, Donovan Iwalo took a crack, and it just sails high.
It was a great counterattack, James. Look at this, Iwalo cuts inside. He hits it really well, just always rising on him. That left foot just over the crossbar there. But Austin Deleuze again going down the left-hand side, just skinning his defender.
That three-back defensive lineup here for Penn FC as they're down 3 goals, really starting to show some holes on these counterattacks, Jason.
Yeah, they sure are. Again, it's Deleuze. I mean, to cap off a perfect night would be for Iwalo, the other center forward, to get a goal.
Here's Rios pulling it down. Becker chased from behind. Heineman with a chance to get on it. Becker comes in sliding to clean it up. Slipped up now. Here is Graham Smith. Played forward. Here's Stephen Miller engaging from right back. Miller steps on it. Brings it back to the middle to Becker. He'll turn and face. Dropped it back to Smith. Crossed over now for Douye on the far side. Douye up to Deleuze, chipped forward to Rios, back to goal, back to Deleuze, chipped it back to Rios, edge of the box. Can he get there first? No. But he does win the ball in the box. Got a man, but cleaned up by Estaquio coming back.
Yeah,
just needed.
3 of them, James.
3 blue shirts in the box for Daniel Rios. And he couldn't make up his mind which one to get it to, so it got to none.
It was literally the only spot he could play it and not have somebody score a goal.
As Estaquio came back, Becker in the box, Iwalo in the box, and looked like Canziora coming up in the box as well. And just nothing doing there on that attack for North Carolina FC as Estaquio knocks it away. And Penn FC with a free kick here in minute 63. It's 3-0. North Carolina FC on top of Penn FC. 3rd game of the home season for North Carolina FC so far, and first time they look to be on the way to 3 points.
And they have not taken their foot off the gas pedal here. Continue to push forward, continue to have that movement and that work rate, especially from all the attacking players, just always someone available.
Estaquio taken down by Becker will win a free kick here for Penn FC. They'll send players forward here in mass. Down 3 goals. And the free kick just from the other side of midfield, knocked in. Danso just over his head. It goes out for a goal kick. Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening, and you can watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. That's Kelsey Steele's hat trick on the USL Instagram story every week on Monday night. 65th minute, 3-0, North Carolina FC in front, and here is Iwalo with it for North Carolina FC. Shoved down from behind, the ball goes out for a throw-in for Penn FC.
Yeah, good opportunity. We'll see what Coach Colin Clark does, but if this game continues, I mean, this 3-0 scoreline, wouldn't be surprised to see Marios Lomas, another center forward, come on for Iwalo, get a chance for him to get a goal as well.
Maybe see some guys in the defensive end that haven't had a chance to play yet very much this year. Maybe your other option. Guerrero, Taylor, Fernandez, Guillen, Luxbacher, Fortune, and Lomas are your subs tonight for Colin Clark and North Carolina FC. Danso just going to clean that one back to his goalkeeper, Tambakis. Imkosana making him hurry. Played forward, knocked down from behind by Tribbett. Here's Heineman. Low along the ground, Tambakis goes down to save it. As Heineman with his first shot of the night, rolled it along the ground low, but Tambakis quickly down to save it.
Yeah, the first real time that North Carolina FC has given away possession there in the back. A little deflection, it looks like, off of Harrington. Tambakis does a good job of tracking it and get on the ball.
Here's Graham Smith. He'll slide it up for Rios. Rios turning, keeping possession to Miller, just past the outstretched leg of Smith, and here's Imkosana. Trip from behind, free kick coming, and that's going to be a card against Canziora.
Yeah, I don't even think he had to commit this foul, James. I think Imkosana gotten rid of the ball, was intercepted by Miller here, but Canziora just gets a little shove in there in the end. Another dangerous opportunity for Penn FC. Look, the ball's away, and Miller intercepts it, and we're going back the other way on a counterattack. No need for that foul in a dangerous situation here. About 35 yards or so from Tambakis' goal.
An opportunity here for Penn's FC to try and put a ball on frame, or maybe work something off the training ground and see if they can't get a nice shot off from inside the box. 3-0 North Carolina FC on top. Estaquio going to chip it toward the back post. Well over everything, and that opportunity wasted for Penn FC.
Yeah, that's just a tough ball from Estaquio. Just no chance there for anyone to track that thing down. I'd rather have him take a shot at goal, get something that bounces in front of Tambakis, a rebound kind of situation, but anything like that, when it's floated, it's very difficult. You can't even get anything on frame with any sort of power with that type of a chip.
Headed towards the dangerous Opoku. Miller back to run it down, and Tambakis will blast it up this near sideline looking for Becker.
Well done from Becker.
Gets it up to Rios, who turns and holds. Now to Smith. for Canziora. Back to Harrington, and now Graham Smith, and back to Danso as North Carolina FC maintaining that possession here very crucially. Becker back to Danso, knocked away, and it's Estaquio getting it. He'll take it, chipping the keeper. Tambakis slapped it down with the right hand. It went right off of Heineman, and it'll roll out for a throw-in for North Carolina FC. Alex Tambakis keeps the sheet clean as Estaquio tried to chip him.
Yeah, watch as Estaquio tries to get cute here, tries to chip him. Look at Tambakis, just to get that paw up there and punches that ball out. Watch this, great angle here. Just punches that thing out. Heineman, we thought might get a touch on it, he did. Good thing it wasn't a little bit closer, but North Carolina FC has got to clean it up in the back here. That's the third or fourth time here in this second half. They've just been a little loose with the ball on the back line.
Here's Miller pushing forward from that right back spot into the center of the park. He'll roll it back to Danso here in minute 69. 3-0, North Carolina FC in front. All 3 goals coming in the first half. Austin DeLuz in minute 29. Kyle Becker, minute 35. And the final goal coming from Daniel Rios in minute 37. So it'll be a free kick here for North Carolina FC in their own end. Free kicks, of course, brought to you by Alpaca Peruvian Charcoal Chicken. And North Carolina FC with a 3-0 lead here as Harrington will walk up to take this free kick as he rolls it along the ground to the captain, Austin DeLuz. He'll turn and chip it up to the far sideline. Rios trying to track it down in the corner. He'll manage to keep it in, slides it back to Due, and he has his crossing attempt deflected, taken away. Great work by Aaron Dennis on the far sideline, now shielding Due away with the ball sitting in the corner. And Rios trying to win it. It pinballs around, and Penn FC will play it out. It'll be a throw-in for North Carolina FC deep in the Penn end. Actually, they're going to say that was deflected off North Carolina FC, and it'll be a Penn throw.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward play there. If Dennis wants to hold the ball in the corner, 120 yards away from the NCFC goal, then that would be fine, right?
For the 3-0 lead, I'm sure Colin Clark would be perfectly happy with that. Harrington on it now. Back in his defensive end. Now Danso. Miller near side. Switches it back to Harrington at left center back. Looking for somebody to make a run. A lot of standing still here for North Carolina FC as he slots it up to Smith. Rios chipping it out to DeLuz. Due on the overlapping run on the left side. He slots it up to Canziora instead. Edge of the box, chipped in, just over Iwalo, and kicked out by Galvao. Still bouncing around in the box. And it's going to be, actually, they're going to call a corner kick as the ball went out off of Galvao. And it will be a North Carolina Education Lottery Keno corner kick.
Another really well-worked play here. Canziora does a great job just chipping this ball into the box. Thought Iwalo was going to score here, just misses the header. And I think it is a correct call there off the defender, off Galvao, over the end line for the corner.
All right, it'll be Becker to take this Carolina Keno corner kick. Looks like it'll be an in-swinger. Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win $100,000 every 5 minutes. Visit nclottery.com to find out where you can play Carolina Keno. Kyle Becker, the Canadian, already with 1 goal tonight and 2 assists. Crossing it in, headed all the way across the frame. Rios trying to run it down on the near side. Nkosana giving him a hard time. Rios spins, shields him off. Back to Miller. And he'll slide it back to Harrington. Reset coming here for North Carolina FC in minute 72, up 3-0. Headed away from a pass looking for DeLuz. Becker shoves Dennis from behind, and it'll be a free kick for Penn FC in their own end.
Yeah, the referee just warning Kyle Becker here. One more foul out of him, and I think he learned himself a yellow card. Yep, one more. Let's have the conversation. Here it is, just a shove in the back here from Becker on Dennis. And again, no real reason for it. He's facing his own goal, 30 yards from his own goal. Players around there. Just want to pick up a cheap yellow card as those accumulate over time.
Nice idea from Opoku, but Becker there to deflect it away, and North Carolina FC will steal the possession back. deflection.
Just a little bit of nervy moments here in the back for North Carolina FC. Not quite as clean on the ball as they were in the first half. Part of that has to do with Penn FC increasing the pressure a little bit, but going to maintain that composure.
Miller with the throw in. Slipping it all the way back to his keeper for Penn FC is Harry Hawkins. Heineman heading it. Drops to Becker for North Carolina FC, and Rios will knock it back to Graham Smith. Signed with North Carolina FC off of an invitation tryout out of the University of South Florida. Been a good addition. He started every game so far for Colin Clark this year, has Graham Smith.
Yeah, he's done a good job, and he's just still learning. He's still young, but he's held down that center midfield role pretty darn well. Has allowed them to push Marcel Canziora up into a more attacking position.
Smith slides it back to Harrington and over to Danso. 74th minute, 3-0. North Carolina FC on top here as Rios drops it back to Smith, pushes it up to Becker. Nice ball. Becker has it knocked away from him by Calvano. And here comes Opoku back the other way, taken down from behind by Stephen Miller, and it'll be a free kick for Penn FC. And Miller going to get at least a talking to. Now he's going to get a card here. Maybe dissent. Don't know that the foul had much in it, but he certainly maybe popped off after that one and going to get a yellow card for it here in the 75th minute.
Yeah, we'll see it here. There's not much in it. It's a good move there by Opoku. Stephen Miller just grabs him. He's trying to kill the play.
No need for that. Let them have their free kick at midfield. If you're Colin Clark, it's Stephen Miller. Not much of a foul there, if any. But instead, it's going to be a yellow card here for him. Nkosana had the ball pinball away from him, and Danso will just clear his lines, trying to get Iwalo on the back of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Put it up there, let Iwalo run a little bit, stretch those legs, flip the field, get organized.
Calvano tracked it down, sent it all the way back for Hawkins. And now here's Tribbett. Over to Calvano again. Coming back. Zostaquio. Hawkins will slide it back to his keeper, Peiser. Salzburg, France native will roll it forward and knock a long ball down the far sideline. Headed forward by Douay. Headed back again by Bond. There's Harrington to slip it back to Tambakis. Not a great clearance by Tambakis as it's flicked forward by Canziora. It falls down to Heineman. Pinballs back to Danso. Loose ball as Deleuze tries to track it down, and it's just banged forward by Hawkins. Into the box, clear over everything. Goal kick for North Carolina FC off of Nkosana.
Yeah, it ended up being a little bit of a half chance there from Nkosana, just kind of a hopeful ball in the box. His first touch was a little bit better. He could have had a better opportunity to beat Tambakis. But really, that's all it's been for Penn FC, hasn't it, James? Just a few half chances. That one really good opportunity on the turnover, but that's basically it. They haven't really created anything going forward.
Has not been much in it here in the second half, and really after the first 10 minutes for Penn FC. As Heineman pulls it down off of his chest, Miller deflects it with the left foot, and he's just to hold it in as Danso is trying to clear it. Tribbett dispossessed by Rios, but he gave it right back. And it's Opoku sliding it forward. Douay will let it run all the way back to Tambakis, and North Carolina FC will take the possession right back. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Result right now for North Carolina FC is a 3-0 lead in minute 78. Trying to hang on and get their first 3 points at home here on the year. Could potentially slide them up into the playoff window. Right now that sits at 8 points. Nashville SC through 6 games on 8 points with a 2-2-2 record. Rios has it knocked away from him by Hawkins, and it'll go out for a throw-in for Penn FC. But Nashville SC, Charleston Battery, and FC Cincinnati all on 8 points. As they clear it up for M. Kosana, he heads it back. Tribbett pulls it down, pops one long. Due going to run it down, but Tambakis will call him off and go pick it up on the edge of the 18.
And Tambakis will hold on to this ball and distribute. Still no pressure really from Penn FC.
Other action tonight in the USL. Charleston Battery taking on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Battery had a 1-0 lead at the half in that one, trying to go for a 2-win week. Charlotte Independence taking on Indy 11 tonight. Pittsburgh Riverhounds are taking on Atlanta United 2. Louisville City FC and Bethlehem Steel FC going at it tonight. Ball knocked forward, but Galval had it run out in front of him. It'll be a throw-in for North Carolina FC in front of their own bench. Still no subs so far for Colin Clark and the home side, but a couple of guys warming up. With a 3-0 lead, you'd expect to see some folks come in and get a little bit of run, Jason.
Yeah, you see down there, looks like maybe Lomas and potentially Dre Fortune, but you got to let the guys play when you've had a performance like this, right? You want to make sure you reward those guys on the field. We'll see who he gives a little bit of a break to here in the next few minutes, but I've been impressed basically all over the field. Like basically every North Carolina FC player tonight has had a very good game, including Tambakis in goal with a big save to keep it at 3-0. But for me, the midfielders and the forwards have been excellent in their movement and their creation of some chances. And finally, we got some finishing going on here.
Tribbett trying to find Heineman. It's headed away by the defense of North Carolina FC, all the way up for Daniel Rios. Here's Austin DeLuz on it at midfield, sliding it out for Due. Chipped it into Rios, and he'll slip it back to Harrington at midfield. Smith and Harrington playing catch. And now chipped up looking for Rios. It runs on instead of Canziora. He's on into the box. Cutting it back, deflected by the defender, as Hawkins did a nice job to come back and cut that one out. Canziora maybe could have done a little bit more with that chance into the box there, Jason, but wasn't real sure what to do with it as he kept running out toward the end line.
Yeah, he was caught between two minds there, whether to go it on his own or cut it back.
Galval in for M. Kosana as it deflects off Danso, and Tambakis is there to flop on it on the edge of the box, right ahead of the goal, and it's still 3-0. 81st minute. Canziora on it, middle of the park. Steps on it at midfield and rolls it back for Smith. He'll swap the play all the way over to Stephen Miller on the near side.
Yeah, Rios has done a really good job tonight holding the ball up and being an outlet. Almost a backboard there. The ball gets played into him, does a good job laying it back off. That movement draws the defenders out. It's created some of those openings that have allowed North Carolina FC to create, more chances tonight than maybe they've created all season.
Here's Iwalo on it. When you've got you've got two forwards up top, you don't have somebody trying to do it all on their own. Somebody can hold the ball up, the other one can push forward, Jason, and I think Colin Clark and NCFC may be on to something here with this two-forward system. It really has looked a lot better, as you said, here tonight. Here's Miller trying to get around his defender, Gilval. And instead, Miller will cut it back into the middle. It's Smith. He'll roll it out for Due. Back to Smith now as he'll turn and face goal. DeLuz gives it right back to him. Chipped near side. Becker chesting it down, settles it to Miller. Miller taking on a defender, crossing it into the box. Iwalo trying to get on it. Rios heads it back to him. Back to Rios on the edge of the box. He curls it back to Miller, edge of the 18. What will he do with it? Gives it to Becker. Now Rios and a man down. It's Iwalo. And they're calling somebody on immediately. He's grabbing his head.
Yeah, it looked like somebody came through the back of him there. He was trying to flick that ball on to his strike partner in Daniel Rios. He might be the guy that's coming out anyway. If not, I think they will take him out.
Tennessee 7, the 83rd minute of
He's
play.
saying there was an elbow.
Number 4, Ken Tribbett. Coming in, number 15, Miguel Jaime.
Yeah, we'll see it here. Watch this ball as it bounces up. Oh, yeah, it's a bad elbow in the back of his head. I didn't see it the first time, but I think that thing will be. I'll take a look at that in the league office. That's a pretty blatant elbow to me. Into the back of Donovan Iwalo's head. Watch this here. Watch this elbow at the end there. Boom, puts it up right in the back of his head.
Number 14, Daniel Rios. NCSC's first substitution.
So Rios coming off.
14, Daniel Rios. Coming in, number 8, Dre Fortune.
Trey Fortune coming on for NCFC, a North Carolina FC Academy product.
Coming out of the game.
And Marios Lomas coming on as well. So Rios and Donovan Iwalo off. And Marios Lomas and Trey Fortune are on.
Yeah, great performance, though, by the two forwards here for North Carolina FC tonight. Iwalo and Rios were all over the place. Rios got a goal. Iwalo had a couple chances, got really close as well, but a lot of running from them. A decent opportunity. Love being a center forward like Lomas coming into this type of game. It's wide open, chances being created. Let's see if Dre Fortune, not been in favor here in the last few games, see what he can do here in the last 10 minutes or so.
3-0, North Carolina FC in front, 84th minute here at Wake Med Soccer Park. North Carolina Courage returns to Salem Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park Sunday, May 6th, 3 p.m. against the Chicago Red Stars. Tickets to that match are on sale now. You can purchase them online, nccourage.com, or by calling the North Carolina Football Ticket Office, 919-454-8144. Harrington on it. Gives it up to DeLuz. He'll step on it at midfield. Back to Smith. And now over to Canziora. Miller releasing down this near sideline. Canziora trying to find him. Miller pulls it down with a right boot. Well done. Gets around Gilval. Gets around another defender. He'll cross it. Back post. Nobody home as it'll go out for a goal kick. Nice work from Stephen Miller here on this right side, but nobody able to make that run forward there to the back post, Jason.
Yeah, he did so well getting that ball on the right-hand side, cutting it back. But then just the cross in the end, no one making that run to the back post. On his right foot, I think he would have done a little bit better there, but it's on his weaker left foot there. He wasn't going to shoot it from that angle.
A little heavy.
Yeah, we've seen him score some goals from distance, but that's always been
on that
right foot, right, where he feels comfortable.
Here's Dennis pushing forward for Penn FC. Canziora comes back to take it away.
Yeah, he's been all over the place tonight again, Canziora, offensively and defensively.
Fortune coming back to get a touch on it. Rolls it back to Danso. Slotted all the way up to Canziora. Runs on. Here's Lomas. Taking it right at Hawkins. Slotted out to Becker on this near side here in minute 86. And he'll drop it back to Miller at midfield. Smith rolling it over to Due. He chipped it down the sideline. It rolls out for a throw. 86th minute, and NCFC up 3-0 on Penn FC. Trying to get their first win at home this year is North Carolina FC, and chance to do it here. Move up to 8 points in the standings and keep the 3-game unbeaten streak intact. Got their first win of the season down in Charlotte, taking on the Independents with a 2-0 win and a couple of draws on the road, and finally back home and looking in pretty good form here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely, and this will build the confidence moving forward. We talked about that slate of 4 games in a row coming up in a few weeks at home. Used to be this place was a real fortress where no one came in here and got any points. 3 points was always happening, so see if they can get back into that kind of frame of mind, but obviously tonight is a big confidence builder for them.
Becker on it, sliding it back now to Smith, still at midfield, and DeLuz bangs it back to Harrington. North Carolina FC will not return to Wake Med Soccer Park in Salem Stadium until May 25th when they take on Atlanta United 2. Tickets on sale for that match now at northcarolinafc.com, or you can call the ticket office, 919-454-8144. They'll be on the road at FC Cincinnati, of course, taking on their former captain, Nazmi Al-Badawi, and I'm sure that will be a very hearty reunion between those two sides. Should be an interesting matchup. with FC Cincinnati, currently up in that playoff position on 8 points, with 6 games in the books for them so far, in 6th place in the Eastern Conference of the USL. And right now, North Carolina FC just playing keep away from Penn FC here with a 3-0 lead in the 88th minute, dropping it back to Harrington now from the midfield.
Yeah, the Penn FC looks like they've resigned themselves to defeat, really just hadn't pressured the ball at all. I mean, there's one thing if you're not creating chances, but it's another thing if you're not pressuring, if you're not showing the effort. For me tonight, they just haven't shown the effort required to get a result.
And Jason, as North Carolina FC looks to head into Cincinnati and take on a former teammate and a former captain in this franchise, what's that like to go against a former teammate? You've had to do it at the MLS level. You've had to do it at the collegiate level. So what's that like when you take on a former teammate like that?
Yeah, obviously everyone loved Nazmi when he was here. If it was a guy you hated, then it's great, right? Because you're going to go up against him and try to beat up on him. But someone like Nazmi, they're going to compete fairly, and it'll be good to see him and all of his old teammates. But Austin to lose here coming out. What a great performance by him tonight. Really got things started with that goal, the captain.
Sorry about that, Austin.
Well.
Fans coming out of the game is number 10, Kyle Becker.
Actually, Austin not coming off, but he gets a nice round of applause anyway as Bernhard Luxbacher coming on for Kyle Becker, who had a goal and 2 assists tonight. What a performance from him, Jason.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, the first few minutes, struggled a little bit giving the ball away, but after that, I mean, he was one of the best players on the field tonight with those 2 assists. I really liked the second one, too, to Rios, where he could have tried to do something and still score, but just laid it off, got a center forward a goal. And then we'll have to ask him about the goal he scored and if he was really trying to do that when that ball came across. We'll see.
Here's Stephen Miller down the near side. Slide tackle by Gilhow. And it's knocked away and out. It'll go for a throw-in for North Carolina FC. 90th minute here. Time winding down. 3-0. North Carolina FC in front of Penn FC. Of course, the North Carolina Courage returning here to Wake Med Soccer Park on the 6th when they take on the Chicago Red Stars at 3 o'clock. That game will be on Fox 50.
I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen them play, you need to come out and watch one of those games.
2-0 winners today against Houston.
Those women play some amazing soccer. You get a chance to see some of the best soccer players in the world right here, up close and personal. They're awesome.
Super talented, won the Supporters Shield, the regular season championship in the NWSL last year. Came up just a game short in the playoffs, but looking good so far this season are the North Carolina Courage, and you can get your tickets for that match on May 6th against Chicago Red Stars at northncourage.com. 3-0, North Carolina FC in front.
I'm slightly confused where the referee and crew came up with 3 minutes of added time here.
Had a few guys go down, I suppose, as this one flicked on as Luxbacher trying to get on the end of it, and Gilhow will track it down and knock it forward for Imkosana. Heineman headed it back to him as Opoku has it taken away there by Miller as Imkosana couldn't quite hold it. All the way back to Tambakis, and last game on the schedule for me for a little while here for the men's side, North Carolina FC. Dean Linke will be back with you the next time that they're on television, and I'm sure Jason will be with you for that one as well. So Dean will be back doing great work with the Big Ten Network now, but he'll be back in the driver's seat in a couple of weeks when we get back to Wake Med Soccer Park. Miller heading it forward as now Penn FC just kind of rolling it back here. We're a minute and a half through 3 minutes of extra time and a 3-0 lead for North Carolina FC. And ball knocked forward here, and Danso heads it back forward. Here comes an opportunity. As really wasted there. So out of play here North Carolina FC with a throw in deep in their own end. Miguel Jaime came on for Penn FC, and Ken Tribbett going out. He, the captain tonight, taking the armband off on the way off the field. Foul called, and it'll be a free kick for North Carolina FC in their own end. Brought to you by Alpaca Peruvian Charcoal Chicken. They've had a really good night tonight for the boys in blue, and the Oak City supporters happily standing behind, cheering them on. 3 goals so far tonight, and hopefully we'll have a chance to show them to you here as we sign off here shortly. And that will do it. North Carolina FC win it 3-0, get their first home win over Penn FC here this year, and it's 3-0. They're on to 8 points, and let's take a look at those goals from the first half. All of them getting the victory there as Colin Clark gets his first home win of the year. Jason, great performance by his squad here in the first half, and we see the goals here. Austin DeLuz gets his campaign off and running here with this one that made it 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. This great ball here from Kyle Becker just floats this thing in, pinpoint cross, and Austin DeLuz finishes it off, and that really got things rolling for North Carolina FC. You see it here again. Perfect placement there from Kyle Becker, and Austin DeLuz finishes it off.
Supporters happy about it. 1-0 there in minute 29, and then it was Pivo Douye lifting one into the box, and it dropped right to Kyle Becker.
Yeah, it sure did. Pivo Douye got around his defender, and Kyle Becker just pops it up over the goalkeeper's head. See it here, kind of an awkward bounce, just puts that foot out there and gets it up and over the goalkeeper. And we were rolling, North Carolina FC.
35th minute for that goal, and Becker made it 2-0. This one a takeaway, ends up right into the middle of the park. Becker had a shot at it initially, but it ended up being Daniel Rios that gets the goal.
Yeah, it was excellent work from Rios, and then Kyle Becker there with the initial shot blocked, just slots it over for Daniel Rios to finish it. The center forward's happy. The easiest goal he's probably going to score all year.
Fantastic goal, his 4th of the season. Kyle Becker getting his 1st of the year, and Austin DeLuz with his 1st of the year. North Carolina FC wins it 3-0 over Penn FC. They get a huge win here in the standings, move up to 8 points, and right on that cutoff line for the playoffs here in the Eastern Conference. As we take a look at that, they return to Wake Med Soccer Park May 25th to take on Atlanta United 2. Purchase your tickets at NorthCarolinaFC.com. For everybody on the crew, Kyle Lang, Savannah Ravella, Jason Gary, I'm James Alverson. Our time is up. We thank you for yours.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.